Welcome to the Contact Center Gurus, the podcast for contact center and customer experience leaders. Learn best practices, new technology, tips and tricks, and more. Listen in.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Contact Center Gurus podcast. I do have a special guest today and becoming a dear friend. So we have Emre Tekoglu, and I would love for you to give us an intro about yourself and have the audience learn a little bit more.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for welcoming me. Just a little bit about me. I've been in the support domain for the last 18 years. I'm really passionate about helping our customers. And for the last 13 years or so, I have been in various leadership positions, all customer facing. And I really enjoy helping people to find their passion in support space and helping our customers, because support, in my opinion, is the new sales engine, is what I like to say it. And every person in support plays a great role. And I'm here to everybody to understand that message.
Yes, love it. So yeah, we are definitely here to talk about how the support organization is not the redheaded stepchild of the service org. So let's kick it off to where, kind of the myths of the support organization. And we're going to myth buster.
Yeah, I like that. Traditional support has been all considered like a cost center. However, with the COVID accelerated, we call it now digital transformation. Now companies do realize customer support is a key department. And I would go one step further. Every department needs to adapt that mindset that they are in support. When someone codes, when someone trains, when someone does a project manage, what they are doing is support. And if everybody does their job well, there's less work for support. So support plays this key role, in my opinion, where every case tells a story for the rest of the organization. And if we look at kind of, I'm going to use the word hidden signals in the cases, we could understand where there was the opportunities to make it better. So support kind of is more than the cost center. In my opinion, with the launch of premium support offerings, it's becoming that new revenue generation, but also really getting out their customers the value out of the products they purchase.
Yeah, and average on the service side, 75% of a company's revenue comes from service, and service could include support, success, technical support, so many different layers. But yeah, I'm seeing this trend where sales are trying to get more information from the support teams to try to figure out ways to upsell. Can you kind of talk about the dynamics between sales and support?
Yes. So from support perspective, sales might be the redheaded stepchild because their role is to sell, which we totally understand. So sales department is one of my favorite departments because they bring the revenue into companies. And at the end of the day, that's really important. But what happens after post-sales is really key. So it would be really ideal. Companies who will succeed will have alignment around the metrics between sales and support, which traditionally not many companies do that. So I try to make a point to meet with our sales leader and set expectations up front, like what can we do up front and what we cannot deliver. So that's the best type of selling point, like understand our customers' point of view and how we could help them.
Yeah. I mean, yes, support's also about protecting that existing revenue, because I feel like support is so powerful. And one of my idols, Vince Lombardi, has this famous quote that he says, "It takes months to find a customer, seconds to lose one." So even though sales is generating the initial revenue, support, success are vital to a company.
Yes.
On protecting and growing the revenue too.
Yes, we all know how important each customer is. Like any startup founder or CEO with small, they do the support role. And as they grow, they need to delegate that to someone else. But the early successes, in my opinion, in those stages, because people are passionate about support, they do it well, they understand their customers. And once they grow, that department goes to someone else, and sometimes that could get lost. So that's another example of how support is important and very crucial to customer success.
Yeah, I also see this shift in terminology with companies that a while ago, companies were all about, oh, we're a sales organization. We're a sales organization, because that's where they saw the revenue was coming from. But now the past 3 or 4 years, I've seen this shift. No, we're a service or a support company. We're a customer experience. I mean, there's so many titles now.
Yeah.
Because I think Uber has the customer obsession experience, and I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, there are many good titles, and companies are playing with the titles, but at the end of the day, it boils down to support is the department to start anybody's career, in my opinion, because that's where you learn the customers and that's where you learn the products. And we picked on sales. For a salesperson to be successful, they need to understand the customer and they need to understand the product. And interacting with customers day in, day out in support will empower you. So I feel another strategy companies should follow is onboard your staff through support. And this way you understand how your customers are working with your products too.
Awesome. What are some other insights to give support departments more of a voice on dictating, process change, technology change, or any other kind of changes?
So the name of the game right now is speed. So customers expect support to know the answers and know the answers pretty fast. So one of the key processes is skill-based routing, I would say, and there are many technologies to help with that. It's all about connecting the customer issue with the person that has the answer to that question. So that's really key process. And it's not just technology change, it's a mindset shift there too. And then measuring the successes will really be important. So sitting up front with your support staff and telling them, we're going to look at the CSAT scores, we're going to look at the total time resolution, we're going to look at the reopen rates. Having that part of your onboarding really helps for anybody to know how they are measured and how they could contribute to support department success. So I would say those are really good 2 starting points.
Awesome. Yeah, I always think about the people too. Are there certain characteristics or skill sets for people in support, whether pros and cons?
Yeah, so there's a great book about challenge your sale, and talks also about support, how to create this effortless customer support experience. And there was an interesting debate there. Who are the best type of support people to hire? Like, what's the profile? So when we do recruiting and hiring, what should we look? Traditionally, it's been people who have good listening skills, obviously, but also people who have empathy. But there is a different school of thought. There is maybe the best type of support people are who are confident and demanding and telling customers this is the best way to solve your case. And it's interesting because customer called for a reason. They don't have the answer. So support reps need to understand that. So they need to be confident to take charge of the situation and asking probing questions to get the details, which is the listening skill sets. But we need more people who are confident and telling customers, based on your situation, here's the best answer and this is going to work, and I test it. So that type of a confidence in the body tone and voice is what I look now when I hire people.
Oh yeah. And I always also think through training, whether it's like interpersonal skills or communication training, because one trend I am seeing just with people in general, and even my daughter, she's 11 years old, I try to tell her how important it is to be social with people. We're all human beings, and we're all the same species and part of the same family, because she lives on her phone in the digital world. And I feel like it's important to have that balance on how to communicate with people in real life and in the digital world, because some people have two different personalities.
Yeah.
And so I always look at things, even for myself, is there different kinds of trainings to help with, interpersonal skills and communication skills. And I just want to pick your brain if you've ever gone down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, you mentioned about so with my two kids, it's funny with the Halloween, as we were going door to door, some neighbors put no solicit sign, and my 8-year-old saw that and he's like, that means no socialize maybe. So when you talk about kids and socializing, that made me think of that. Work life and personal life, sometimes it does differ. And that's a really good topic to talk about, because the best productive people are the ones who could bring their whole self to work. And we use, for example, introvert and extrovert. That's very clear to people. They understand, yes, it's a label. We don't like the label, but
right.
That's easy to say it. And we need both sides. And we just need to tap into skill sets they have. So as long as people have that psychological safety at work and they have that voice, they are being listened. And sometimes, yes, they are introverts, maybe they need to work differently, and extroverts, they also need to work differently. So as teams need to come to kind of, whether it's meeting norms or how the teams communicate early on, they will be much more successful.
Right. And the good news is for, support orgs that are looking to, maybe skill up their team just in a communication and interpersonal skills realm, there's so much online, so many different training classes. Like when I grew up in the 80s, and you can calculate how old I am, we didn't have that. We had like the library and books. Now you can go on YouTube, Udemy. I mean, there's so many classes that you can take that it's pretty fascinating. So in your support organization, how do you kind of address the training aspect with your team?
Yeah, so training, I would say, is one of the Achilles heel for support, because you have to take time away. And support is one of those departments that's hard to be off the phones, off the chats. So off the get-go, we are in a hole. And then we need to really pick the time to be about it. But my team does a really good job of role playing for onboarding and coaching. That's kudos to our team at Zywave that does a fantastic job of training our managers, training their support reps. But companies also need to invest in the enablement positions and make it more recurring, whether it's monthly accreditations that we could do in support, because so many changes happen across the department. We need to bring all that information into one place. So investing in the support enablement positions are key to company success.
Yes, and vital, I must say, especially, times are changing, things are changing, and, we got to stay up to date.
I want to add one more thing. The enablement, yes, it's all about learning too, but also participating at company events.
Right.
Because usually support falls behind in that. So that's one of the areas we strive to improve, participate at company events. So we understand the company culture, participate at company all hands meetings. So we know what's happening, because early reasons we listed, support is key. We understand we help towards customer retention, which is one of the key metrics. Support folks needs to be looped in all those type of engagements.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more and the audience about Zywave, and what are the great things you guys are doing there, and maybe what is Zywave?
Yeah, so Zywave, we are in the insurtech space, helping agencies and brokers with their digital transformation. If you think about it, insurance is one of the last remaining places where it has not gone through digital transformation. And unfortunately, COVID happened. And fortunately for a lot of software companies, it accelerated their growth. So we are in that space where we are helping our customers to connect with their customers. So we have the tools to help them to sell faster, coach, we call them agents, so they can be agent for their customers utilizing our tools. And on the support side, anything from soup to nuts, if they have any questions, we are helping them through different channels, emails, chat, and phone.
Oh, awesome. And what kind of programs you think you might be launching for your own customers?
For our customers, we are using Salesforce mainly to manage our cases. And we are working with Salesforce to kind of how we could connect with our customers, just like we sell that solutions. We are doing the same process, connecting with our customers on support issues.
Okay. And your customers, are they nationwide or globally dispersed?
Yep. So we are in a few continents and trying to expand globally more. But right now, the main supports are in the US in terms of my support staff.
Okay. Are there plans to expand more globally?
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely need for it. And hopefully that's something we'll do extremely well.
Awesome. So my question around global support, because I do also talk to a lot of global support leaders, is what are kind of the challenges that you face with a global team, different time zones and managing them? And then, what are some of the things you have implemented to help with those maybe pain points?
Yeah, global support is a tough one just due to time zone. And we are also not even mentioning about language barriers too. So there's that too. And not only that, the culture, the expectations. So someone in US might have different expectations about support than someone in Europe and someone in Asia. So then do a localized support, or do you have one central hub that works 24/7? So I've seen it both ways, and it has pros and cons. It's one of those that's hard to do, but the key ingredient to success is doing a kind of follow the sun model, how we do hand over the cases. That's where support process is really becoming important. As long as everybody follows the same processes, customers shouldn't see the cases being handled differently. So that's really the secret ingredient, having a clear documented process, how to handle a case and how to hand over to the next time zone, so they could continue without asking the same questions. Because customers, one of the disloyalty factors is if you ask the customer the same questions, or you don't read the notes on the cases that work by the previous time zones. So that's
I'm one of those customers. I only want to say it once. Yes. And as a customer, I want a seamless experience, no matter what country, what planet I'm talking to. It just, that seamless experience. So I love your thoughts on that kind of unified process.
Yeah, we should talk the customer language. It's the same language regardless of the origin of their language, but let's talk customer language. Let's show that empathy, understanding. But also I think customers need to understand that we are in a tough spot. Like, everybody's working from home. And I started seeing some customers adapting to that, being more understanding with the Zoom meetings or with any other type of engagements, where customers definitely understand if they hear a background noise, they don't mind it. And back in the days, like, that was a taboo. Like, no, you cannot have
a dog
barking. Yeah. Now people do see more human element of that, and the customers starting to show signs of, okay, they are here to help me, and they work from home. They are in a tough spot, so I'm going to show more empathy. So I've started seeing customers showing that side of their face, because usually customers can be seen as very demanding and challenging, but I see a trend change in that way too. It's positive.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'm a big fan of, we're all customers of someone. So how do you, as an end customer of someone, want to be treated? Or how does the workflow look? Or how does the interactions look? So yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of, I want to do business easily, seamlessly with companies. if I have, if I do have a problem or need to submit a support case, make it easy. And I think I've mentioned this, I'm sorry guys, on a different podcast, but I still have this pain with this one health insurance provider where I submitted literally 20 different cases and responses back and forth, basically requesting the same thing, because I was getting different agents. And then I guess they didn't see the notes and they didn't see my prior interaction and my exclamation marks. And I wish a manager would just jump in, knowing I was frustrated and livid. And I will never do business with them again because of that experience. So please, if you are a leader of support, success, anything on the service side, I think something that would help was go through your own customer journey yourself. I think a lot of times support leaders don't do that. They're looking from the outside when maybe you just have to experience it and see where you can improve.
Yeah, I do want to share a few thoughts. I wonder how many support leaders called in their support line.
Yeah.
Or how many times they created a case. So one of the items we are focused now at Zywave is how can we make it easy for our customers to reach out to us? So we are offering new channels. When they call us, we are putting technology in place to understand if they have an open case.
Yeah.
And if they have an open case, we will prompt them, is that what you're calling us? And if the answer is yes, we'll connect them with that person if they are available. If not, we'll go to the obviously someone in the queue waiting to pick up that queue. But it's all about making that interaction easy, because they ran into an error message. They ran into a question that stopped their day. And last thing they want to do is call support. So we understand that. And the other day, I'm always on the lookout for companies who does a better job of support. And I tried to pick. So the other day I called Fidelity for I had a question.
Just don't call the IRS because it's horrible. Okay, go ahead.
Have to call them. I called Fidelity and I pressed the options. It was about scheduling, and they asked the voice prompt. So far, no connection with a human person. After pressing 3, connecting with the scheduling, it asked, do you have an iPhone? We could send you a link that will let you schedule the meeting with your advisor on the spot. I said, that's what I wanted. So I pressed that. I get a text message on my iPhone that I could schedule. I hang up the phone. That was it.
Nice.
So that's a good example of, I had an issue and it's been self-service. And now I like Fidelity. They created a loyal customer. Sure, there are other options, but this is why support is important. They need to make it easy for their customers to interact. So, and that's definitely something I always keep an eye, whether it's business to consumers products or business to business, trying to pick up items we could implement at Zywave.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I'm that kind of customer. Make it easy. All right. Well, any final thoughts, Emre? I think that was a good ending.
Yeah, no, it's support is anybody who's planning to, with the great resignation that's going on right now, I would encourage a lot of folks who want to feel empowered and look for opportunities, maybe look at support roles, that's especially in SaaS companies where you have flexibility to work from home. And by the way, companies who adapt that mindset will win in the long term. It's changed from sitting in one office, listening to calls to let's trust our people. So there are really good opportunities out there to make a difference, and support, I 100% believe, is a great place to start. And like you said, support leaders, they need to make it easy for customers, and they need to continue to be the voice for their customers for the rest of their organization.
Awesome. Well, I do appreciate your time, and I hope you, the audience, learned a lot from Emre. I'll have his LinkedIn bio in the text, the bottom of the session. So thank you so much, Emre.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Contact Center Gurus podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.